Hey guys, welcome to the Mommies Talk. So today we are doing live in between weekdays because this was very important topic and I didn't want to miss it. And my guest wasn't available on Saturdays and Sunday because she's a working mom and it is a very important topic for all working moms. How to go into smooth transition after for work after maternity leave. I know it is a very difficult thing for all moms. So, my guest today will be sharing some tips for going into smooth transition after to work after maternity leave. Let me see if my guest is here. My guest is Mrs. Vanitha. I am just checking if she's here. Sherry's mom. Yeah, she's here. Finally. I think she is here. Hi Vanitha, I've sent you a request. Okay. Hi
Hi,
Vanitha.
hi,
How
Nidhi.
are
I'm so
you?
sorry. There was some problem with
It's
connecting.
okay. It's okay. So,
Good,
you're
good.
still working or what?
Yes, I'm working.
It's
Actually,
work from
I'm.
home.
Yeah, it's work from home.
Okay.
From afternoon 1 o'clock
Hope
to
you
ten
don't get
o'clock.
a call from office to do some urgent
No,
work. Okay, so how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Just locked in room and nothing else. So please introduce yourself to our audience, Vanitha.
Sure. Hello, all. My name is Vanita. I work as an investor accounting analyst. In simpler terms, as I'm working as a senior financial analyst with a mortgage-based company called Mr. Cooper. And I'm a mother to a 3.5 years old boy, and I live in a joint family in Bangalore. I'm basically from Belgaum, but
Okay.
my father was in army, so we've been transferring from one place to another. So there were many relocations that have happened. So finally, we are settled in Bangalore.
After your marriage, right?
After no, before my marriage, my education and everything was also here only. So it's been
Hmm.
15 years that we're in Bangalore.
Okay. Okay. So, what about mom blogger? How did you come into blogging thing?
Actually, initially we were in Chennai, okay. So when we came back to in Chennai, I did not have time to do any of these things, okay. When we shifted back to Bangalore with our families, I thought of, okay, let's get into it. Let's share my experiences with the people, and let's do some knowledge sharing. And it is definitely helpful because when I was
Yeah.
a mother, I definitely did not come across this platform.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, let's create one. So I'm trying my hands on it and let's see how
Okay.
it goes.
So being a working mom and managing your kids, so how is it difficult? You live with your family, with your in-laws, right?
With my in-laws, and that happened only after my son had completed his 2 years. So
Okay,
only
okay.
when he completed his 2 years, we came here. So
Okay,
I'll
okay.
tell you the story like how I did it like before he was 2 years. Okay, when he was
Yeah.
9 old, I put him to a daycare,
Okay.
and yeah, so that's how we managed. Morning 9 to 6 I used to work, and afternoon 1 to 10 my husband used to work. So
Oh,
from
okay.
9 to 12 o'clock my baby used to be with my husband, and he used to
Okay.
drop him to a daycare, and after 6 hours I used to pick him at 6 o'clock, and that is how we managed for two years in Chennai. We are lucky and blessed that everything is sorted now here. Even if we are there, even if my in-laws are there, he has somebody to around him. He's not alone, and he's not into daycare
That
and
is
all
that
that.
is very important sometimes. Yeah, like for example, at least in these COVID days, we both are working. Your parents are working, and sometimes both gets a call from boss. This is urgent. This is urgent. What to do with kids that time? So
Exactly.
when you're
That's why
staying with your
strong.
in-laws, it's a blessing for
Yeah,
this time, right?
it is a blessing.
Okay, so do you want to share your experience? How did you join work after maternity leave, and how was the transition and everything?
Yeah. One thing is, I was sure of joining back work, okay, no matter what, because my pregnancy was smooth enough. And when I knew that there was a baby inside me and I was so strong and I was working, I'm sure that, after my baby is out also, I'm not gonna stop.
You had that mentally, you were prepared with it.
Yeah, mentally I was prepared. How and what I had not figured out, but I was
Okay.
mentally prepared.
Okay.
So we had 6 months of maternity leaves. I
Mm-hmm.
asked for 3 more months of maternity leaves. Okay, I extended. Um, it was a loss of pay. I could have done work from home also, or loss of pay. But 3 months extra, I took loss of pay, and
Without
I
baby,
was
yeah.
there with my son. Yeah.
Okay.
So after my son turned 9 months, I
Okay.
joined
So
by
when
joined my.
did you take this maternity leave? Like at which stage of pregnancy? Or
I
like
took it when I was in 8th month of my pregnancy.
okay, okay,
Yeah, so from there, 9 months I was with my son.
okay.
When my son turned 9 months, I
Join your.
planned about daycare and all those things, and it worked fine for us. So being mentally prepared helped me a lot. It was tough, but having a supportive and understanding partner is very important. He also, he also has to be on the same page, wherein he understands your needs of working and being independent and all those things. So
Yeah.
you and your partner needs to be on the same line if
Yeah.
you want to get it smooth.
Yeah, obviously. So, were you a breastfeeding mom while going back to work?
Yes, I used
So
to
there
feed
was a
him.
query how to manage with breastfeeding mom and returning back to work. So you want to share your experience and give some tips to all breastfeeding moms who
Yes,
want to return back to work.
yes, yes, sure. As I said, mine was a 9 to 6 shift, right? So morning I used to feed him and I used to pump.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, pumping is one thing that I had worked on and practiced a couple of times, and I used to
Before going
store
back
it.
to work, right?
Before going, yeah, I did a dry run. Like we used to, I played a role as though I'm there, but I'm absent. So like that,
Okay.
I made him, go through it and take the pumped milk and all those things. And one more advantage was, by 9 months, my son was started eating some of the other things.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
For
Thankfully, yeah.
example, ragi malt and all those things. So
Mm.
after 6 months only, I made him, get used to of carrot purees, some bananas purees, ragi malt. We have this akki ganji and all those things. So
Okay.
all
Okay.
that thing, he was already used to it. So even if I'm not available to breastfeed him, he has an alternative.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that was one thing that I made sure. Uh, and I was prepared. Like you need to, there would be leakages when you're at work, because
Yeah.
you're not frequently, feeding your baby, and it would have become heavy and all those things. So you need to, keep the pads, the
Yeah.
nipple pads, all those things. You
Right.
need to continuously, change and monitor it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We used to use that those things. Right.
yeah, but somehow pumping did not work for me. I did not do too much of pumping. So as long as I was available at home, like from 9 o'clock, and in between also, if I could come back and breastfeed to my child, I did it for a couple of weeks. But again, I didn't
Okay.
wanted to put that particular thing as a major thing, wherein I used to go back from work and feed him and all that thing. So one thing was, 6 months was 9 months was exclusive breastfeeding. Okay, only after 9 months he was on alternative feed also, alternative food supplements also. So overnight he used to take feed again every 2 hours.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
Okay.
not completely taken away from him. So that was one thing. So after 2 years I fed him
Okay.
like this.
So, like you said, like maternity leave and going into smooth transition. But some ladies suffer from some medical issues. Some ladies go through this PPD, postpartum depression, and many things. So, what about them? They have to return back to work. So, what do you want to say to these ladies? Like
Uh,
there is a person who sent this query that after C-sec she went into some medical issues. So, what do you want to say to her?
yeah. First of all, I think you will have to be very transparent about your health conditions to your employer. You need to tell him that it's not working, my body is not going to support, I will not be able to be productive enough for the work. And if she or if she's transparent enough and gives all the medical requirements or reports that are needed, you can
Yeah.
just tell them that, see, this is my condition and I don't think I'll be available right now. You can give
Maybe
me
be honest with your
again
with her.
for a yeah again you can ask for a loss of pay or a work from home or anything. Just being transparent is the key. Also, if
Okay.
you're suffering from postpartum depression or anything like that, please talk to anybody you trust, you love, and they in turn have that trust and care for you. So when you talk it out and have a heart-to-heart conversation, I'm sure everything is going to help. So communication is the key.
Very
So you
important.
need,
Yeah.
yeah. So be it with anybody basically.
Okay, so how do you think like we should working mom should be mentally prepared to go back to work after having a baby? Because they get emotionally attached to kids, seeing like 24 hours you're holding a kid, you're playing with a kid, and going back, and even in office this rotates in your mind. Oh, what my baby must
Uh,
be doing. So
Yeah, yeah, that is one heck of a roller coaster, I must say. You
always
any mother can be, ready to just leave her child and go. It is a process. By you start by doing it. You start by leaving your child behind, and over a period, you settle down, saying it's okay. There's not a problem. So mentally being prepared that one day you will have to join your work, and as I said, you need to do a dry run about make everything available to the child in your absence. Like how would he be taking care of things? How would things will be available for him in your absence? Even though you're there, make things ready for him and ask somebody, your caretaker or the daycare person is there. You know how they'll take care, how they will run through the day in your app. You be
like a
present,
practice. Yeah.
but just have a drive or a practice kind of thing, and that
Yeah.
is going to help you. Also,
Okay.
when you return back to work, talk
Yeah.
to a mother who's already left her child, who's gone through this phase. That
This is
helps
going
me
to
a
help a
lot.
lot. Okay, okay, okay. That means
Yeah,
you're going to help so many moms, right? By conveying
yeah,
this message.
yeah. So I spoke to one of my colleague called Nazia, and because she also had left her child behind, and she was, into
You,
corporate
you,
for long
you
years.
should, you'd have asked this question, कैसे छोड़ के आते हो यार?
Huh. So one thing she told me was, I spoke to two people actually, but both of them somehow told me the same. One point is that you give your vibe to your child. So when you're leaving your home, you tell your child that I'll be back. You'll be fine. Mama will be back soon. Mama is going, for herself, for you. So you have to pass on that positivity to your child
This
that
message,
it
yeah,
works.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that one message made my day, and it really helped me on
Yeah,
that
like leaving a very small kid and going away. There's something. Some people say that kids doesn't get connected to a mom. Do you think that is true? Is it true?
No, actually, it used to affect me. As I said, it is a process. You need to go through that particular phase. Only then you'll understand if it's true or not. So since I've gone through that, I completely and 100% can assure you that that's not the case. You have given birth to your child. He is made up of your blood and flesh. So he
Okay.
will not get disconnected with you. So whatever time you're spending with him, make sure it's quality. You
Time, yeah.
talk to, have a eye contact, cuddle, snuggle around. Whatever time you have the quality time is what
Best time, yeah.
matters.
Make it feel the best time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about those lazy routines in maternity leave and going to back an official routine? So, how to cope up with this?
I think, as I said, when you're
Then
prepared mentally, your body also will support it. If you wish to do something for yourself passionately, everything around you starts working towards you. So you just need to, it will become little hectic, but planning one day ahead, anything related to breakfast for him, anything you need to pack, lunch, or some days you both the parents can eat something outside, make things available for the child. So that also
Mm-hmm.
works. So planning goes a long way. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
One more thing I must say is when a mother is leaving her work behind and joining back work, she becomes more productive because she has that sense of acknowledgement that I'm leaving my child behind and he's too tiny. I need to do justice for him and I need to start working better. So that
Okay.
kind of
This
confidence
positivity.
comes within you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
So
we go to
everything
work
you
with this.
do in those 9 hours, make sure that it counts for your career, for your future, and all that. So you become
Do
more
you think
responsible towards your acts.
do you think that after going back to work, you are not, within these maternity leave, you have lost your quality of working?
True, true. That would have happened because a lot of things
So,
would have
can
changed
this
in between.
affect in the position of your work in your
Yeah. So
workplace?
when you go back, have a conversation with with your employer that and tell him right away that no, see, there's a break, and I have lost touch. I have emotionally and physically, I have gone over a ride. So there are things that I have missed on. Can we have a refresher training? Have a refresher training, learn about things again, redo things again.
Because
If
the time gap, you might have you might have missed many important things that have come to your workplace, right?
Yeah, correct.
Information
Yeah,
things. So
exactly. Yeah, and in case a particular framework is not working for you, talk it out. Tell them that it's not working.
you
Can
need
we
to get
change it?
updated about
Can we
what.
change the process? Yeah, you
Yeah.
need not be in the same process. You can take up any other different process in the company, which will help you to balance your personal and professional life. Like I would like to mention, initially when I had conceived, I was pregnant and all those things. We used to have this 2 to 11 and 5:30 to 2:30 shift in the
Okay.
evening. So when I went back, I asked them that this is not going to happen with me. That
Okay.
is why I had to change the process, and I am into a different process now. From 9 to 6 is what I'm working right now.
Okay.
So so talking it out, telling your priorities upfront does work.
Okay. So, is it true that being in touch with the office people during this maternity leave helps in smooth transition in going back to work?
Honestly, I haven't done that, but anybody
Yeah,
who
because during maternity leave, we are completely into our kids. We are completely with our kids. So I don't think we get connected to our office work, and we are
we
not updated with office things. So do you
yeah,
think that this
updating
can help?
about office work is like least, okay? We don't do any of those things. But if your employer himself is asking about you, about how
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing and all those things, that casual talk you can definitely have. I
Okay.
haven't initiated myself, but there were people asking on my health. There were
Okay.
people
But,
visiting
but
us.
what about like getting updates from of our workplace? Do you think this can also help in smooth transition of going back to work?
Yeah, if you're sure about going back and working and giving your best again and getting into the track, there's no wrong in taking updates like what is happening, what else, what new has happened. If you
Only if we
have
get
your
carried away.
exactly, if your state of mind is that calm enough, please go ask and talk about it. But I was not in that state. I completely concentrated on my child, so I never got into the detailing of the
So,
process and
like
all.
you said, you were completely concentrated in your child, and Achanak say you went off. So, how did it went with your baby?
With my child, he was so small. He was just 9 months. I still don't know how he would have felt at that moment. But initially, I did ask for help from my mother-in-law, if they could come and stay back and all those things. So my mother did come and stay with us for 15 days. So having a mother behind is definitely a plus point. But that would become injustice to ask them to come and stay over for a month or so.
Longer
That
period
is
of time,
why,
yeah.
yeah, that is why we opted for a daycare. Now I have got many questions saying, how did you trust the daycare? I mean, how did you take that big step? I'm already always questioned and asked in such a manner that what 9 months child you kept in a daycare, just like that. But if you want things to be working, you need to have trust in the other person. Make sure your criteria are correct about your child and tell them what your child needs. Like
So
I
do you
wanted
keep
him
like
to,
CCTVs and all too?
sorry, I did not
Do you keep
understand.
CCTVs in your home?
Exactly, exactly. They had
Assets?
CCTVs in there. Yeah, they had CCTV. So once in a week we could see, or but again that would affect the trust. That would have a trust issues kind of thing. I believe you, and that's why I'm keeping my child with you. So I don't no I truly I did not get into checking on the CCTVs and all
Most of the time, yeah. Okay.
most
So,
of the time.
do
How
you
much
want
time
to?
do you have?
Your story we have heard, but you want to give some really real tips of getting back to work after maternity leaves. I saw your post and it was like super awesome. So
Yeah.
please help us with, and also do's and don'ts. We want to know the do's and don'ts to to go back to work after maternity leaves.
Yeah, sure. Actually, most of the things we have already covered in whatever we spoke. But yeah,
Yeah.
first of all, don't be guilty of choosing your career. That's the main thing. Don't be guilty. You need not prove anybody around you as to why you're doing it. In the long run, it is going to benefit for you because after a certain year, your child is gonna outgrow. You today your lap, tomorrow your shoulder. But ultimately, what you will be left with is your job and your individuality. So never feel guilty about, oh God, why did I do this? Initially, it is going to be difficult, but everything will fall in place. Okay, so don't be guilty.
Amazing. Okay.
That's the first thing. And second thing, as I said, do a practice run. Be there, but make the child feel that okay, you're not there, and make every see how it goes with him over the day. That is there. Have a heartfelt conversation with your partner. Tell him
Okay.
that see this is gonna happen and this is there and all those things. And I'm sure the right kind of person is gonna support you. So having a conversation and having you are a team
Thanks
when
for no.
yeah. So you're a team when you want to make such a big transition. So you need to be in a team. Some days he'll say it's okay,
So,
you go, I'll
like
take
you
it.
said about, like you, that mentally thing, did you get through some taunts? How are you leaving your baby and going, like from your in-laws, from your friends, or mama, your mother, your own mother, anyone from your family member? Do you want
Yeah,
to share?
they used to ask me about like why do you want to do it? Why do you want to do it? Why do you want to take such a big step and all those things?
And
They
that
also
leaving a small baby.
Yeah, and they also suggested me that no, I should give away my child to them and they'll take care. And I was
Okay.
again, I was like, no, it's okay. Even if it is difficult for me, I'll take it ahead. I'll take care. And thanks for telling that. That's what I said. Okay, so I was against giving my. Obviously, we are doing all that we are doing for our child. So staying away from him was definitely a no. So being firm, telling them no worked for me. So that's it about it.
Okay, so some other tips you want to share, please?
Yeah, those were the do's. Don'ts were like again, don't. Okay, I just shared the don'ts, right?
Yeah.
Don't get guilty, don't get
Yeah.
carried away with the taunts and emotions and all those things. Do's is please talk to your manager, employer, tell them what would be expected out of you, how much productive you could be, what are your needs, how much you will be available, what are your expectations after you have come back.
Yeah. And everything
Ask them,
changes right after being a mom. So we need
yeah,
to
and ask
make them understand that this is the changes which has come into me after coming back. So if you're ready to accept it, right?
exactly. Exactly. And ask them what they expect from you because, ultimately you're a mother and you're a woman at the, you should decide when it is a professional career that you're going through. Okay. So you need to ask them what changes do you need from me? Where exactly I'll have to put in my extra efforts. So both exchanging both your expectations is also going to help you in the long run.
So,
So
do you
this is
want to
what
say
work from
something about role of your husband, role of your partner in this smooth transition?
Sure, definitely. As I said, 9 o'clock I used to leave. Okay, breakfast I
Yeah.
used to prepare for my child, for my son, and afternoon lunch also I used to prepare. So whatever packing that he had to do for my son, like little tiny dosas that he used to put and give, he used to
Yeah.
mash the rice with the ghee and all that thing, and he used to pack it in a smaller box. So packing stuff, making things available, the diaper, the clothes, everything, making things ready for him from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock he used to take care of. And before leaving to office I used to feed him breakfast, and later he used to put him to sleep. So putting him to sleep, taking care of him, feeding, changing his diapers, I think these
That's
are not to be wasted.
equal
It's
parenting, right?
Yeah, it's the part of a role of a father that he has to do it. So definitely it would have been impossible without his support. So
Okay. So, partner support is a very important thing here.
very important.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Do you want to say anything else about this topic?
Nothing else. I guess I've covered most of the thing. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I think
Oh,
it should
thanks.
help most of the mommies.
It is definitely, because I'm going to share this on YouTube too. Though I don't have followers, subscribers there. I just made it like days ago. But definitely this is going to help some working moms for sure, because you explain everything about working moms. So thank you so much, Vanitha. Thank you
Thanks,
for being.
Nita. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
So bye bye.
Bye.
Take care. Stay safe.